Hey everybody, Lioconvoy here. Time for another exciting edition of ThunderCats ThunderFacts. Today we'll be tackling a topic that I've been asked to cover a few times now. What cats are the ThunderCats based on? Now I know what some of you are doing, you're sitting there and thinking, it should be obvious what they are, it's in their names. Well, that's where you're wrong. Kind of. So I'll be delving into this at length, as well as giving some interesting info about the cats these characters are based on. To preface, I'm not sure if the original staff knew in depth about a lot of these animals, and here the roar never brings it up. But I think they had to know at least some things to be this close in some cases. But anyways, let's begin. We'll start with, of course, Lion-O. Lion-O is, as his name would suggest, based on a lion. However, what type of lion is debatable. In other cases here, I'll be able to make better educated guesses based on their habits, personalities, or even fur patterns. But in Lion-O's case, I can't do that, as real lions don't have red manes. Even though cartoon lions tend to have them, and they never really explain why. Some interesting facts about the lion is that they're one of the very few social big cats, having anywhere from 1 to 4 males lording over a pride of their kin that can number up to 50. Also, the darker a lion's mane is, the more likely lionesses will want to mate with him. A lion's roar can be heard up to 5 miles away. It's a good thing Lion-O is the one responsible for calling the team. He's got the lungs for it. Up next, we've got Jaga. This character has actually been trickier for some fans, as his name isn't quite as obvious. Jaga is based off the jaguar, a big cat that's around the same size as an adult male lion. They're common in South America, leading up to even Arizona. A lot of people get them confused with leopards at first glance, but the easiest way to tell them apart is the jaguar is much beefier, and often has spots inside the rosettes on their fur. They don't tend to roar like other cats do in their size class, they have more of a guttural growl. Speaking of leopards though, that moves us on to our next character, Panthro. Oddly enough, there's no such thing as a panther big cat. It's more of a general name that can be ranged between jaguars, leopards, and mountain lions. There is a genus of Panthera though, not to be confused with the metal band of the similar name. Due to Panthro's height compared to Jaga and other males in the series though, it's safe to assume that he's a melanistic leopard. The higher melanin level is what gives those leopards their seemingly black fur. This is one reason why Panthro is such a strongly coded black character in the series. Another signifier for Panthro being a leopard though is actually his strength. Leopards, pound for pound, are the strongest big cats, especially in the back legs, allowing them to carry massive prey up into the trees where they prefer to eat them. And we can't have Panthro without mentioning Tigra, can we? And that's who's next. Based on his personality type, we can conclude that Tigra is specifically a Sumatran tiger. This is due to them being very solitary, hence Tigra's shyness.
Ever since I was a kid, I was shy.
And the fact that they'll eat almost anything.
Oh, I'd offer, but this is my last one.
One odd thing though is Tigra's weakness is bizarre, considering the animal he's based on. Unless he's invisible, he can't swim, and tigers spend a lot of time in the water. Moving on, we have Chitara. Like her namesake, Chitara can only keep her top speed up for a short period of time. A cheetah's top speed is around 75 miles per hour, and about the distance of a mile. The reason for this is because if they go any further or faster, their brains will actually cook themselves from the stress. Cheetahs are able to go from 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, beating out most sports cars. What allows them to do this is partially due to the fact that their shoulder blades aren't connected to their spine. Chitara, on the other hand, can double what her namesake does in both speed.
Chitara, out for her morning jog. I clock her at about 30 seconds for the mile. Incredible.
And distance.
It's not possible to run 5 miles faster than you. No creature living can do it.
No, but I can't maintain my top speed for much more than 2 miles. The distance we ran was too much for me.
Now we'll talk about Wiley-Kat and Wiley-Kit. What cat were they based on? Comic letter pages and others have put forth the idea that they're house cats. But the behind-the-scenes info from Hear the Roar tells us directly what they are. They're based on wildcats, hence the Wiley part of their names. These are feral cats that span between Europe and Scotland. They're not much bigger than a house cat, and oddly enough, they're near extinction. And this isn't due to hunting or anything of the sort, it's because they keep breeding with domesticated cats. Alright, we've covered the main team, so let's get on to the new recruits. We'll start with Pumira. She's based on a mountain lion, which is also known as a puma, a cougar, or a catamount. Mountain lions are the biggest cat in North America. They are adept climbers due to living in the mountainous regions of the country. They're also the biggest cat that can still purr and meow.
What are you purring? Who are you purring for?
Unlike other big cats, if you encounter a mountain lion on your trails, you're advised to make yourself look big and try to scare it away. But be careful. They've still got enough muscle to hurt or even kill a person. Next up is old Lynx-O, based on, of course, a lynx. Lynxes have massive paws that they utilize like snowshoes in the winter and that help them climb during any other part of the year. Lynxes also have excellent hearing, helped by the tufts of hair on the tips of their ears. So if any ThunderCat was going to hear you talking crap in the other room, it's going to be Lynx-O. And last on the roster for the new ThunderCats is Bengali. Bengali is based on the largest and most common tiger in the world, the Bengal tiger. Not only is this the biggest tiger in the world, it is the biggest cat currently around as well. However, you're likely looking for a Bengal tiger that shares Bengali's colors, like this one. Well, I have some information about that too. This fur color isn't too common in the wild. This is because the gene mutation that causes the white fur is actually propagated through inbreeding. Granted, I don't think the writers were aware of that when this character was created, but it's something to raise an eyebrow to. Unfortunately, a lot of sideshow petting zoos and animal farms intentionally breed these animals for the revenue they bring in due to their exotic colors. I'd recommend avoiding these people. They are not keeping the animals' welfare in mind or being proper conservationists. We're not done yet though. Oh no, I'm bringing you some bonus content. While stripped from his rank, Grun was also once a ThunderCat as well, so we can't leave him out. Grun is based on the saber-toothed tiger. What is, to our knowledge, the biggest cat in history. Their massive canines usually measured out to 8 inches in length, even longer than that of the Tyrannosaurus, who measured out in about 6 inches. Oddly enough though, the teeth which they are named for had a tendency to break off in battle, or in hunting, a trait Grun shares with his animal namesake, having lost a tooth to Jaga in battle during his failed coup. The next two characters come from the 80s Marvel ThunderCats comics. First off is Lynx-Ana, who, like Lynx-O, is based on the lynx. She's an experienced huntress and tracker, just like the real animal is. And finally, we have a character from the UK comics that's very rarely talked about, Catamountain. Catamountain is named after another title for the mountain lion, the Catamount. He was an ancient Thunderian and the one who gifted his people the mystic Eye of Thundera. He was Thundera's first lawgiver, but that's a story for another time. Thanks for joining me, and I hope you found this informative. Take care. As always, a special thanks goes out to my patron Avis. If you want to support what I do, feel free to head over to my Patreon and throw money at me. I'm still trying to go to Don Bluth University, and we'll be doing yet another art live stream this Friday night at 7:30 p.m. Central Time to try to raise the money to do so. Hope you can join me.